in Nigeria, Info 99.3, and you'll be able to watch us, all right? And please share your thoughts and your comments on the headlines that we're treating, okay? Let's start with page 10. Let's start from page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Inside Politics is what this page is called. Lagos Assembly rejects 17 commissioner nominees, confirms 22.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Well, my first observation going through some of the names here is that you do find that some of the names could possibly be connected to the elders and top members of the APC. Their children, cousins share the same name. Sheriff, I want you to remember that I'd always said that politicians, make decisions for their own benefit and not for the benefits of all. It's a given. It's not a matter for debates. That's what it is. And they usually, given the opportunity, they could do a winner takes all. I am at a complete loss, and I do apologize as an elder Lagosian to Professor Abayomi, that a man of that status, a man of that character, given his star performance during COVID, which of course the total government took credit for, would be rejected at some commissioner screening. I mean, come on. What could it be but politics? What else could it be but politics? And I am sorry to say that I've always had my doubts about now I need to be very careful here. But I always had my doubts about some of the members of the House of Assembly and the rhetoric that comes from therein. To me, it had been, I had the suspicion that it was more like man, no man. Of course, the old Baba Soripe issue. Okay, it's all mainly about politics. You don't find that fine governance. You don't find it almost even at the top level, of the State House of Assembly. And that's why, to a large extent, in public discourse, they hardly ever come up. Their relevance in public discourse, in reality, is hardly ever focused on. Everybody just goes, governor, 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 governor. One of the credits we give the Sanwo-Olu administration was in health, in the Justice Department, the domestic violence and things like that. Those are the star performances. And the other one is education.
Education.
I make bold to say that Mrs. Olafis Adefisayo was probably one of the best commissioners for education we ever had.
Probably, yes.
So to now see that you wouldn't confirm Adefisayo, you wouldn't confirm Professor Akin Abayomi. That's shooting yourself in the foot. And of course, our good friend Benga Omotosho, who I just feel so sorry for him. You wouldn't confirm those, then there is more than meets the eye in what happened there. And we will hold the APC responsible at the very top. There's the top. What's the top? The top GAC.
Yeah.
We will hold them responsible because here you are. Some of you have your children in this cabinet. We know them. And yet, as star performance, you sit down and watch a House of Assembly, throw them out and ban them to the Philistines. It is not acceptable. The APC does not own Lagos. You must think of the general interest of the people. It shouldn't just be political. I feel so pained for somebody like Professor Akin Abayomi. That is why you would hardly ever get your first 11 wanting to take up political appointments in Nigeria. But you can't mess him. You can't mess him. He's a man of good standing. Nothing you can't. I feel personally pain. I've never met him.
Same here.
And I've always wished I had the opportunity to shake his hand and say, well done. That is our own Lagos Olikoye Ransom Kuti that you threw out to the streets. I don't know what the governor is going to do about this. So the question I think you asked me this morning is, what do I think is going on?
Yeah.
A few things. it has been almost well known that all hasn't been well between the governor and the speaker because of ambitions. Okay, so one time speaker wanted to be governor and so on and so forth. Are you trying to take out the governor's star performers? That's question number one. That's issue number one. Issue number two is that Baba is busy at the top now. So everybody is struggling to plug his own people. You know, Baba is out. So the real leadership for Lagos, it has been thrown out now. Baba is frying a bigger fish. Okay, so everybody is struggling now to position his own people. The center is broken. And there have been complaints, quote and unquote, that I've been hearing. Okay, a lot of the politicians also say that, the governor doesn't carry people along and so on and so forth. Maybe this is an attempt to bring him down. Are we looking towards an impeachment of the man in the near future? Only God knows. But please, I've gone a bit too far, especially in the area of these two. You can't treat our star performers with levity. We want them. I challenge the Lagos State House of Assembly to let us have a referendum on those two and see which way it will go. So after they reverse it, one of them was quoted to have said that, they can't reproduce them. They have to look for other people. I heard there was also some politicking about some people from Lekki, some areas have not been touched, indigenship and so on and so forth.
The Muslim community too were complaining. That they're largely marginalized. So
if all those complaints are personal to you, we want people who will perform. We want people who will perform. And this indigenship, do you know, Sheriff, move closer. Do you know? Do you know that if we were to strip this indigenship to the bone, very few of them can stand before me when it comes to Lagos. I'm a double-barreled Lagosian.
What he did?
Yes.
What he did?
It's a Lekwan campus. I mean, okay, that's a joke. I mean, I was just trying to put some humor into it.
Yeah.
But this is stretching it too far. If Professor Abami had been from Tanzania or had been from Equatorial Guinea or Gabon, where Comrade Akpan is an expert at things like that, I would still have wanted him to be commissioner. If you go for an operation and you're about to do a surgery, appendicitis, you are groaning in pain, are you going to ask for the indigenship of the doctor before he puts his knife in you? And this religious balance and so on and so forth, we need to be very, very careful. Because very soon, those of us who favor, I'm a Christian, but I have sympathy for the Cheshe people. We will be asking for that balance too. Then the Baha'i faith will come in because all of us have equal rights. I don't want to plead with the when you say I want to, I'm not going to plead with them. You may do as you wish. But one day, something is going to give. We all know the politics that played out in that last election. I don't want to go there. It's in the tribunal and whatever. But one day, Lagos is going to have a change. It's what most of us are praying for fervently. Where we will have politicians who will put people first before their own. Look at the names. I don't want to read out the names here, but there are some familiar names here. You can see them. We know them. Children of this and children of that and cousin of this and cousin of that.
So I saw a commentary yesterday where, some people are of the opinion that this is, yes, we always clamor for an independent legislature, that this is perhaps
bingo, I like that.
A sign of that.
But we want an independent and sensible legislature. It's not just to be independent and be independent for the sake of it. The one that hits me the most is that of Professor Akin Abayomi. I can't take it. I've never met the man. But with what he did during COVID, oh, come on. And go, see, our hospitals are not well run, I agree. But from hitherto, go and see the improvements he has done all over the states. He has initiated.
Okay. We're going to
Why did we talk about our friend? You didn't put in a word for him now. I'm
that?
not the one who's supposed to be
Who is that?
talking the information now.
Mr. Gbenga. Mr. Gbenga. I said something. I said a few things. I said a few things about him
this morning.
This morning. And what I said, let me repeat that. I find it very interesting that they would have to drop him. Because this is somebody that, even if you don't agree with his line of thought, with the explanation, he will come and he would say,
and dogged. You can't take that from him.
He will take the government's position as his job dictates. He would not say no comment.
Do you know that it's Benga Motor Show that saves the information department in the governorship circles? The real information of the governor itself is questionable, of the people around him. It's Benga Motor Show that provided the balance. I think somebody is trying to get at
the governor.
At the governor, yes. Yes. And I don't know how he's, but that is why we have always told the governor, I've told him since when he was elected.
You always say that.
I always say that look, at the end of the day, you will have to come to the people, and the people will only stand by you
always say that.
by performance. That's why you find me raking and raving this morning for Professor Akiabayomi. I've never met him. I don't know him from Adam. We didn't go to the same school. He didn't go to Igbobi either.
I am actually waiting for Unilag. That Unilag part is what I'm waiting for.
Oh, I think he went to Medilag. I think he did.
Okay.
I've shot myself in the footsteps.
I mean, these are great people, actually.
These are great. You don't do this. You don't do this. But well.
Let's go to the Vanguard. Niger, Algeria, Egypt oppose military action, seek dialogue.
You see, this thing is becoming more and more complex. Do you know what the Algerians said? There will be no solution without Algeria.
Ooh.
It's here. There will be no solution without Algeria. Algeria and Egypt, now these are two strong African countries.
That's right.
Okay, have moved against military intervention in Niger Republic, insisting that dialogue remains the best option out of the current political crisis in the country. West African leaders and the Vanguard writes all the follow-up stories there, but they have said that we don't agree and you must reckon with us. Makes it a bit. And overnight, I think I heard that the British too want to intervene. I think they should stay out of this because at the end of the day, we're trying to fight for freedom from France. That's the bottom line. Don't let whether it's been cool or not or whatever it is that French dominance.
So I get
that is our biggest headache.
Now I understand why, because immediately you said that, I had to quickly go and check out the map of Africa.
Yes.
So I understand now why Algeria is saying there won't be a solution.
Yes, because they'll be affected by migrants and whatever. Look at it there. And so they say that 7,000 migrants stranded in Niger due to border closures. For now, that's for now. Destabilization of Niger will have consequences on Libya, which is turbulent itself.
Look at it here.
Look at the map there.
Yeah,
Libya.
it's right here.
Then you now have a story that says UN envoy UK demands immediate release of ousted Niger leader Bazoum. Nobody will release Bazoum for now. That's their trump card. That's their trump card. So there's no point asking them to do that.
Especially because of the transatlantic gas pipeline. If that gas pipeline leaves
that's
Nigeria,
that's where the interest is.
It moves. Is if it leaves Nigeria to Niger, it's going through Algeria.
Yes.
So Algeria is saying, look, there won't be any solution.
There won't be any solution
if you attack these people.
We'll wait for you at that point.
Yeah. 7:45. Let's go to the Punch. Naira tumbles to 900 to $1. CBN vows BDC operators clamp down.
Okay, so after huffing and puffing, the acting CBN governor, see where we are this morning. 900 to the dollar.
Maybe he said.
After
let me keep quiet.
Don't keep quiet. After all the threats and everything, see where we are this morning. That's the only story I have here for you to know that currently. We're on 900 to the dollar. We're in a bigger mess than we think. We're in a much bigger mess than we think. And I think that, I don't know why, I'd like some sound economist to tell me why the government can't backtrack and start all over again. I'm not saying they should. I don't know I wish they could. Because we've started, the way I usually describe this thing is, you want to build a 25-story building and you put the foundation of a bungalow. How far up can you go? But I usually concede to those who should know. I wish I could find some economists. The only issue I'd like to discuss with him is, can we trace our steps back, go and do proper planning, and then move forward again? I wish we could.
I wish we could.
Because we're flip-flopping everywhere, we're just flip-flopping.
I thought he had a plan, when he was saying he was giving warnings to speculators. You people will lose money.
Not just him.
If we start implementing what we have in store, you people, you will lose money. So
not just him. Even when the government was saying that we should give them time and so on and so forth after the president's speech, well, maybe he was waiting for the cabinet. Let's tarry a while, but in between that, many people think Luleo. It's becoming worse by the day.
So I pity parents who have children abroad, schooling abroad.
Schooling abroad. What about here? What's the difference? What about here? It's school fees time. Don't get frightened. Finish your meal. School fees is when now? For you?
September.
It's just around the corner. Go and ask school proprietors what they think they might face.
I heard quite a number of schools are removing some things from the list of payments that they would normally.
Yes, and they're now
because they know that their parents cannot afford some of those things anymore.
Now, school fees will most likely be paid per month.
Oh, instead
of per term. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, most likely, and a lot of schools are going to fold up. Don't let's potty it. Just everybody should get ready. A lot of schools are going to fold up. A lot of schools. School are broadcast. Let's even talk of
the ones here.
The ones that are here, yes. No be person will chop belly full and go abroad. But my sources at the airport tells me that the flights are still leaving filled to the brim.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where that is coming from. Filled. So sometimes when you do an analysis like this and then you hear things like that, you begin to wonder,
is this thing really real?
Did you oversleep in a dream or something?
Of course it's real. Let's go to this editorial in the Vanguard. Tinubu's non-acidic media outlook.
I was happy.
And you've been saying this.
I've been saying this. Yeah. Look, I was happy when I saw this story this morning. Do you know why? People have a general attitude to think that those who do this analysis really just want to be beating up everybody, bringing down governments because they don't like them, and so on and so forth. This analysis I'm about to do is going to give you, it should give you a second thought that maybe there's some sense in what this old Baba is saying. And his beloved Aburo. Are you my Aburo or my son? Sir?
Your son.
You're too big to you.
I am your son.
I
am your son.
It is my fault. Because, and I'm also happy that the Vanguard wrote this editorial. It's called Tinubu's non-acidic media outlook. Okay, and what they're just saying is that Tinubu seems to have gotten his media handling right, and I endorse that. Okay, because they say here Tinubu's predecessor opted to crowd his government with propagandists and hawks in these very important positions which interact directly with the public. The regime was very predatory towards the media, especially the social media and the broadcast sector. The print sector only escaped being muzzled through united resistance to defeat Olusegun Odebumi's draconian Nigerian Press Council bill. In a welcome change of style, President Tinubu quietly shelved his media hawks. You know all the media hawks. Maybe that also explains why Dili Alake was moved to
solid minerals.
Because he took the advice that we gave him. I don't know that he heard mine, but I had said that the war is over. And so they say here that some of them went far. Some of these hawks went far as promoting ethnic profiling and extremely abusive language instead of persuasively marketing their candidate to Nigerians. The Tinubu camp was way ahead of his competitors in the deployment of intemperate communication. But informing his government, Tinubu has put away the guns and chosen matured and experienced media practitioners to front his information machine. And they now talk about Ajuri Obari Ngelale, who I had said had adopted the right approach to this job. One of the tests for Ajuri and the media handlers is the government's reaction to Pastor Tunde Bakari's State of the Nation address. They quietly just let it pass by.
Oh, brilliant.
It was only some APC secretary, that's political. They didn't abuse him. They didn't,
Unlike before.
Unlike before. They would have taken
all guns blazing.
He was even expecting. I remember him saying in the State of Address that I know some people come, I'm ready, come on, take me on. They just did the sensible thing. And my good friend Fola told me one time, I've never forgotten. He said that, Jimi, Fola Jela, he said, when there's a storm coming, that look at the trees. The trees hardly ever get broken. They just bow down and let the storm go over. He said it jokingly one day, but it's stuck in my head. And that's what they have done here. And I commend them for it. And they said that at Tinubu, one of the biggest investments in the media sector, appointed Mohammed Idris Malagi. He's the publisher of Blueprint newspaper as his Minister of Information. Malagi and Gelale were not in the picture during the campaign. Those who ran the media office for Tinubu campaign, notably Festus Keyama and Dele Alaki, were posted to areas that have little to do with the media. And it says both Tinubu and Malagi understand the uphill challenges of the media sector. They put in a word for the high cost of pushing out these things. You people out there don't know how much it costs for you to just put on your transistor, pick up a paper and read. You don't know how much has gone behind it. One day I'll bring the accountant general here to come and give you an idea of what it's like. So it's thumbs up for him, and he couldn't have made a better choice for these turbulent times. So it's a thumbs up for him. So today maybe I'll get a respite from my strong critics who say he doesn't like him. He's bad.
Let's take this feedback on what we spoke about earlier on Jackpa. Tolu said on YouTube that people are leaving because by January 2024, UK will not grant dependency visa to students. Therefore, the number of Nigerians that will travel between now and December will be so high. Exactly. So you have a lot of people right now trying to perfect their admission and their traveling and everything. So the international airport will be filled to the brim.
I have one reaction here, if you don't mind, if I can read it.
Right.
And somebody said maybe they are preparing Abayomi for a federal appointment. If they're preparing him for a federal appointment, the governor wouldn't have put his name forward in the very first instance.
Right.
So that proposed that. And this other one says flights are full because people are leaving the country. Are they living in droves?
Yes.
You should be on your own.
You are not going anywhere. You go nowhere.
You know about it's very easy.
You go
Let me put you on notice that my relatives are in Benin Republic. And I will jump from Benin. I can skip Togo. And my real direct relative is in Ghana.
Correct.
So from Ghana, I can one-way flight from
one way and it's straight direct
to Heathrow.
Let's go take this one here. In the Vanguard, page 32, the story reads: Christian Islamic traditional worshippers disagree over Isheshe Day.
Okay, so the pressure is still on the Isheshe. People haven't taken their leg off the pedal. But I think that so far so good. I was happy that some state governments declared Isheshe Day. Apart from the social part of it and the inclusivity of everybody in governance and so on and so forth, it's a money spinner. Go and ask Brazil how much they make from these things. Ironically, Brazil will probably have more, make more money from the Ifa worship there than we, the originals, have here. Because we are so narrow-minded. I'm sorry to go this person. I want you to imagine how much Saudi Arabia makes every time there's a pilgrimage. It's a lot of money. That's not to take off the religious side of things, please don't get me wrong. But it's a lot of money. And we can do so likewise. I don't know why we are so intolerant of each other. I don't know why. If somebody is doing something you don't like, you walk the other way, but he has equal rights. But it's a story I'm still going to look at and get people in to talk about, but I'm happy about the way they went. As for the one that happened in Kwara State, it's an unfolding drama.
Yes, it is. Let's go to the panorama page of the Punch and some stories in the Daily Trust as well. The Metro page, rather.
Okay. Lagos traffic robberies back. Yes, so much. And please, we'd like the governor. I'm sorry to make this referral to Fashion last time, but it's a reference point. The bridges were lit. The roads were lit. Lagos is in complete darkness. One of the credits of the Ambode government was to light up Lagos. I remember then. And I know, yes, sir, because of Disu and so on and so forth. But it is a very integral part of security. And where are the patrols that we used to have Ikorodu Road, the bridges, Third Mainland Bridge, on bikes, all those policemen dressed like ninja? Where are they? Where are they? We'd like the governor to look into that. Also, this one is terrible. The government has to move in quickly. Weeds and feces have taken over the 400-seater Lagos State Theatre located in the Oregun area of the state. Weeds that can tolerate, feces that can't. So it's become a public toilet. People do. It's too early in the morning. I wanted to say what, but hey, if you have people doing things in paper bags and looking for where to throw them, the government should move in and seal this building immediately. Senator Children of Aid allegedly killed by rogue soldiers in Lagos. Let's see how far he would be able to do that. Suspected fraudsters, Berry Rivers, newborn alive. There was a story, Sheriff.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I said, Sheriff and I have to look. Where is it? Of a 91-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, you had
Yes, yeah. I saw that story last night, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, a 91-year-old and a 13-year-old.
We have a problem. We have a problem, and in all honesty, those who are in governance, we need to look at the issue about what is prompting this and go to the root of it. We have a big problem. For starters, what would a 91-year-old man, where did he even get the physical power to rape a 13-year-old?
We must go now, though.
And he's a babalawo. He's a herbalist.
Okay. All right. There's something like that, yeah. But let's go. Let's go. I mean, that was a horrible situation.
Very horrible.
Thank you so much. You're back at 9, yeah?
Yeah, I'm back at 9. The story I did on the Nigerian Railways.
Yeah.
The management are here to clarify a few things.
Fantastic.
We're glad to welcome them.
That's good.
So
Let's bring you the news. After the news, let's do Health Thursday, Lagos. Please stay here.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.